Hello everyone, welcome to this third session on Paradox and Cubine special, right? So we are trying different combinations, different arrangements for the patterns Paradox and Cubine, right? And playing around. So we have already drawn these two tiles in the first and second session and hope you're enjoying the series. Today we'll try another new arrangement, use Paradox and Cubine a little differently, right? So let us get started, and what I'm going to do here is, so I'm again going to start with an orb but somewhere in the center, and this time I'm using my pencil and not my pen to draw that orb. Yeah, so just reference with my pencil, right? And then I'm going to somewhere from the center draw lines, just like we draw the pattern genius. I'm sorry, nice, not genius. And then I'm going to draw these V shapes like the pattern nice. Right, and then I'm going to join these. So this is basically the pattern nice. Right, so this is the pattern nice. I'm now going to extend these to form cubine. Like this. Right, so I like it inked, so I'm inking it here also. Again, extend this, add that inner square and ink it in. Right, again extend this. So it did not be a perfect square, it's okay. Again ink it in. Right, so slowly do that exercise for all. Right, again extending it here. So on the last one now, completing adding my cubines. Right, so I'm now going to add this S kind of shape emanating from all of these points between the two cubines, a slight S shape like this, just like we draw the pattern Fangle. Right, and then I'm going to add a little curve here and join it back here, just like we do for Fangle. Right, so I'm basically drawing that pattern Fangle. However, there is no center point here. Somewhere hidden inside is the center. These S shapes in a Fangle start from one point. Yeah, so that point is hidden behind this cubine or dream catcher, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and now I'm going to insert paradox inside each. So slowly start auraing each of these sections. Right, so this is kind of drawing behind, so I'm going to skip this and go with the third side. Again, just like the pattern Paradox, aura this shape also in the Paradox fashion. So take your time, take one stroke at a time, right? So again, I'm going to do the same exercise for the next, and in fact for the all. For all of these shapes, I will add the pattern Paradox. So I'm showing again slowly, just aura each side with an angle at the end. So one side is drawing behind, so I'm not adding any lines here behind this cubine, just sticking to three sides, adding a slight curve to the lines, just going with the wave of the line. So paradox is not necessarily a pattern which has to be with straight lines. It can have wavy lines also, right? Second one, again I'm going to continue in the same fashion. Third one, right? So I am now on the last one, auraing these shapes in the same fashion, starting from one point and giving a slight angle to the line at the end. So as I mentioned, take your time and draw each stroke with deliberation. Paradox is a really meditative tangle, purely line based, and yet it doesn't let your focus away from your tile. You have to be attentive and concentrate to draw these lines. Yeah, so that's another beautiful arrangement for Paradox. Now we have these places left. Now it is entirely up to us what we want to do. You can either insert a mocha, add a slight ink here, curl this shape and then come back and add another curl and then probably one more, and you have added mocha there. These small spaces you can either add simple orbs or you can add some bronx chairs. It will add some drama to your tile. So I'm adding some bronx chairs here, right? So you can do that here also. Small little orbs, however, filled in to add that slight drama factor. Yeah, so I'm going to do that for all. Just add a slight ink here, curl it up, come back here, go back, again come back, again go back, right? Again add a little ink here, come down, one more pod and one more pod and close it. So mocha is basically one stroke tangle. Once you start drawing it, you don't have to really lift your hand, right? Especially for the infurled ones. You don't have to lift your pen. It is a one stroke tangle. Yeah, so you can see the ease with which a highly geometric tangle like Paradox can be combined with organic tangles. Yeah, so that's the beauty of Zentangles. Zentangle patterns. Yeah, so just adding a little ink here to cut that sharp kind of corner. And the last one. Yeah, so done with that exercise. Let us now add these bronx chairs in all these sections. Yeah, so slowly do that exercise. So I'm drawing an orb and filling it in such a fashion that it is not completely filled in. It has a highlight. Yeah, that's the pattern bronx cheers. This looks like grapes, black grape. Yeah, so let me do that exercise. So I'm now on the last one, adding the same orbs, filling it in. Right, so I'm done with that exercise. Now let us move to the next step. If you want, you can add some bit of color. It is entirely optional again. So this is a brush pen and it says deep yellow, and I'm going to add some color to the inside. Let's see if we want to add to both. Yeah, I think I will ink both. So you can do this in the last also, at last after finishing and shading your tile, or you can do it now, entirely up to you, because I will not then shade this sections, probably, most probably, that's why I am just filling it in. So you need not color the whole thing with the brush pen. You can always add a little and then just spread it with water. That's also possible. That's another way to use your brush pens. In fact, I want this dark bold color, so I'm filling it up completely with my brush pen. Yeah, done with that, and I will add the same in the outer circle. Yeah, let us first shade. So again, I'm going to add some graphite here, the way we generally do. Right, it is blended first. Right, so you can also add color on the graphite on this side also, so you can make one side darker than the other. That's also one shading option that you have with Cubine. Right, so Generally this section is made a little dark so that it looks like folded from there. So you can re-emphasize that. And then a little more blending. Soften it a little. Yeah, that's about it. Now let us move to our paradox. Paradox, again, I'm going to shade on the intersections. Right, where lines are turning. You can also shade this place from where lines are emerging. That's also a nice way to. So these are going under, so I'm going to highlight that also, right? So just a touch, not too much. We don't want the entire thing gray, right? So intersection, lines going under, intersection. So let us first add graphite at these places and then we can blend it. Yeah. So let us now blend slowly without spreading too much. Take away the graphite from the edges. Since one section of the line we have skipped, we have drawn behind, so I am highlighting this part of the paradox to give that effect that it is going under, right? So that's the whole idea. Yeah, I think we are done with the blending. Now let us just add a little touch on these spots. Don't add too much. Yeah, so just a touch and not much. Spaces are small, so you don't want to be blending too much. Yeah. Yeah, So we are done with that. Let's keep the little shading here. So yeah, so now it is up to us what else do we want to do. Yeah, so the inside of the nice we can always add something more to add some zen. Yeah, so what we can do is add some stripes either straight or like these, right? So I'm going to add some more lines like these. Yeah, so again, this is entirely optional. If you want to do it, you can. Otherwise, you can leave the tile here. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, so I've added one more, and now I'm going to add another one inside like this, basically creating another flower within the flower. Just adding auras. There's a pattern called afterglow which looks something like this, and then I'm going to add one or two extra lines like these, as many as possible depending on the spaces. Yeah, small little things that you can do to your tile. You can also add a little dot at the end. Not quite sure if it will show much, but you can do that. Yeah, and now the inner portion, there is some little opportunity to shade, so I'm going to add some graphite here and some here. Right, and now blend it. Yeah, so we are done with that. Now a small little thing that you can do is add little dots inside your cubine, because it is getting a little monotonous drawing cubine the same way. Well, you can always add lines or orbs inside, but when it is entirely black, I always get tempted to use my jelly roll and add a little zen. So make sure you don't put your hand immediately on the jelly roll, as it takes a little time to dry up. A touch of chalk on the other side of the flower. And on the center. Right, so just pick up another blending stump and soften it. that's about it. I don't think we need anything else here. So I'm just going to use my brush pen and ink the rest of the space with the same color as I've used in the center, quite close to the previous color I used in session 2, but this one says deep yellow, that one was orange. So thank you for all your beautiful comments that you keep posting. I really feel encouraged, inspired to do better, improve. And I have also inserted a subscribe button on the face of my video as you watch it, so it's easier to subscribe now. You can just go to that orange colored button on the right side of the video and click on it to subscribe. To subscribe if you like the videos. And I'll continue making them. This is something I do for myself, and if you also enjoy it, great. That's the best thing you can do for somebody. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm going to close my tile now. One more thing that I'm going to do is redefine the outer line with my bolder pen, that is 08. I'm just going to redo the outer line. So slowly add a little boldness to the outer line. Yeah, that's about it. A little pencil on the outside. Since you have added that boldness to the outer line, it would be nice to add some shade. Thick lines would have a shade, right? They would have a shadow. So it would be nice to add some graphite. And just blend it. So since I added some thickness to the line, I thought it will be a nice idea to add a softer shadow. And while I do that, there's something else also going on in my mind. So if you want, you can add some puffs also, but entirely up to you. Right, so you can always use your boulder jelly roll, right, and add a line of puffs all around. You can also use your black pen. This will be a little more subtle. I don't think it is working too well. Yeah, the gray looks perfect. So this is again an enhancing technique that comes to your rescue very easily whenever you want to lift the look of your tile, and suddenly it adds to your tangles. So I'm using a gray jelly roll here. Since the white was not very visible, you can also use your black pen and add these orbs perfectly fine. So I'm almost finishing adding those dots all around my tile, my tangles. Yeah, that's about it. So we can close it here now. There is nothing else in my mind. Yeah, so Sanyukta Saxena, and give it 2 minutes because jelly roll takes little time. 18th of February 22. So this is our tile for today, and I will see you again with another combination of paradox. Yeah, till then, have a good time. Bye bye.